Boop. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, July the 30th, 2021. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 51, 1 through 12, Exodus 32, 19 through 26, 1 Corinthians 11, 17 through 22, or you could have read Psalm 78, verses 23 through 29, and then Exodus 12, 33 through 42. And I'm going to take a look at 1 Corinthians and talk about factions, right? Paul is telling the Corinthians who have these factions among them. And it's not like, before you start thinking I'm talking about, like denominations and things like that. No, it's not like that. And even John Wesley has a couple of references in his works where he's arguing with people who take this verse, verse 18, where Paul talks about the divisions among you and how you have, why they have them and how they're necessary. And John Wesley's arguing with people because they're like, oh, this is, gives credence to having schisms in the church and factions and all that thing. And John Wesley's like, no, you don't get what Paul's saying here. These are bad things. They might serve a purpose. God uses them for a purpose, but this isn't the kind of thing that Paul's talking about. Paul is talking to the Corinthians about the factions and the divisions that they have among themselves. Do, as bad as they are, do kind of serve a purpose because they identify who is genuine about, following Christ and who isn't genuine about it. So, in other words, there's bad bread going on because the ungenuine people, the people who aren't genuinely interested in living after the example of Christ, those are the people he's talking about that are coming to the Lord's Supper. They're with all the wrong reasons, right? They're not coming because they want to celebrate Christ or lift up Christ or, celebrate the fact that of everything that Christ has done for them. At that point, it's all about celebrating themselves. This is what they seem to be really interested in. It's about celebrating themselves, satisfying their own desires at the expense, as Paul says, of their brothers and sisters in the church who have little to nothing. Like Paul's talking about people who literally don't have enough food to get by, and this fellowship that the church is was providing here in Corinth is actually getting them by. And it's not just like they're coming together and getting little disposable shot glasses with a little bit of questionable grape juice and a styrofoam wafer. This is more like a big fellowship meal, and the high point of which is celebrating the Lord's Supper, remembering the Lord's Last Supper with his disciples before he went to the cross. And so it's about, they've made that, though, about celebrating themselves and getting as much as they can for themselves at the expense of people who can't afford that, at the expense of those who are already at risk and in the most need of their care and consideration. They've made this gathering of the church all about their individual, how awesome they are and how they know what's best for themselves, and they're just going to get whatever they can. Nobody can tell them what to do. And this, Paul says, they show contempt for God's church by focusing on their own selfish desires. So anyway, that's the DBR for today. Get out, have a good day, enjoy the day, and we'll be back tomorrow. Huggins will be back with another DBR for you. Talk to you later. Boop.